So, Bernie, welcome to Billboard. Thank you for joining us.
65 years.
Really? So, my next question is...
I'm thrilled. It's great. 65 years in the business. And here I am on Billboard. I'm delighted to be here.
Great. So, how did it all start? Tell me about the Glennogg's Dance Band.
Well, back in the day in St Helens, I discovered I'd got a singing voice, and I was working as a plumber on the building site in bathrooms, and the acoustics were of great help to me. And me and Moggy Moore went to the Theatre Royal in St Helens, and the man was asking for volunteers from the audience. Well, we were up there, like wrapped up a drain pipe, and he gave Bernard Moore a mop head on a handle, and said, "I want you to make love to the mop head, my darling," and all that. And he said, "And you can sing." So I opened my mouth to sing, and the theatre went still quiet, like a cathedral hush.
Or a bathroom.
And like a bathroom. I suddenly thought to myself, I don't know what's happening here, but it's better than plumbing. And I was kind of hooked.
To dream the impossible dream.
I got myself an audition for the local dance hall, so I borrowed my brother's suit, pinstripe suit. You've heard of Armani? Well, this was Ardani's. And there I am in Ardani's suit, and I sang "Love Is a Many Splendid Thing." And Bert Webb, the band leader, he said, "Right," he said, "I want you here 3 times a week at 7 o'clock to rehearse." I found myself one Saturday night standing up in front of a crowded dance hall singing "Love Is a Many Splendid Thing." And when that happens to you when you're 17, 18, in front of your peers, the youth of St Helens, it was a special moment, something I've never forgotten.
And you cut your teeth on the pubs and clubs of Northern England, like a lot of people in the business.
Yeah, well, again, I think it's fate, Ted, in a strange way, plays a part. I was a plumber in St Helens, and while many people of my age, many lads of my age, dreaded the thought of going into and doing the national service, for me it was the great escape. It got me out of being the world's worst plumber. And I was sent to Doncaster. I discovered that down the road, 15 miles down the road, were like hundreds of clubs and pubs that needed entertainment.
So how did you move from being in the RAF and moonlighting in northern clubs to being on Crackerjack and TV programmes?
Oh, long journey. I started to introduce a bit of comedy into my act. And I met Les Dawson, and he must have seen something in me, because he took me to one side and said, "You're okay," he said, "but you're just doing what everybody else is doing. Why don't you try and find your own style?" And I went, "Well," he said, what do you like doing?" I said, "Well, I love being funny with props, with visual, I love." And he said, "Well, why don't you just go out and be a prop comic? Why don't you go out and just work with props and be different?" And he was my kind of mentor for many years, was Les. And I took him at his word, and I just went totally visual. It was a great learning curve for me.
And of course, you went on to appear on all sorts of shows, the Sooty Show and French and Saunders.
I know, it's amazing. Looking back, it's unbelievable.
Now, I know you were with Sue Pollard in Las Vegas, but had you met Sue before? Had you worked with her before?
Well, I'd met her, yeah, and I'd met everybody on the show, Sue and Cannonball and Jess Conrad and Bobby Chris. I'd met them all, and then the fun started, because they cleverly gave us the impression that there weren't enough bedrooms, that we hadn't got a bedroom each. And of course it really hit the fan. And people were kicking off and saying, I'm not sharing with that. And of course what they hadn't told us, just across the courtyard was a little cottage with 4 bedrooms. But it was great, yeah. And the great thing about it, of course, that everybody who watches the series is aware, is that we had this, our American producer, Frank Marino, looked at us, saw what we did, and he was convinced that it was going to be a car crash, and he didn't get the ostrich at all. Oh, the chick, what's this chicken? Is he drunk? What does he do? What is it? This is Vegas, and he was using phrases like, "A Vegas audience, they can smell the fear." And I said, "Frank, You've never worked a miners' welfare in Barnsley on Sunday lunchtime. Don't talk to us about fear.
But before you did last in Las Vegas, you went back to your first love, which was singing.
Well, I was always a singer, and people were surprised. Were surprised I auditioned for The Voice, and I always say that I was just a singer that got in with the wrong crowd. The props took over my life.
And now you're still in the business, you're still working, and you're back on the stage with your own show.
It's me on stage. It's a one-man show, and it tells the story from childhood in St Helens, being missed by a German bomb, to go all the way to along the way, my adventures, all the way to Las Vegas, and with a few songs included, lots of images, photographs, video clips, backing tracks. It's, if I say it myself, it's a very interesting story, and here I am. I'm on the road with it.
Lovely. Well, Bernie, thank you so much for joining us on Billboard. It's been really fascinating talking to you, and good luck with the tour.
Yeah, I've been in the business for 65 years.
Was that 65 years, Bernard, did you say?
Are we going to time this? Doc, yeah.
How about this?
That's fantastic. Come here, that's brilliant. Listen, I've no idea what's going on here, but I think I've died and gone to heaven. Can we all get in on this?
I think we can do that.
I'm going to open my mouth, Joe.